Hi, my name's Chris, and I'm going to give you a tour of my 2023 Ducati Multistrada V4S. I bought this bike in August 2025, used with about 900 miles on it. I'm known for modifying all my vehicles as soon as I purchase them and then doing nothing but maintenance for the next decade. And this is no different. First, this SW Motec Trax ADV top case. Second, the SW Motec crash guards. Up here, I've got the Ducati Touring handguards for a little bit more wind protection. I've got the Givi windscreen, the same one that the Italian police put on their Multistradas. It offers additional protection while not being too tall and still looking good. I've got the Ducati electronic fuel cap, which, while debated online whether it's needed, I love it. I keep my key in my jacket, so I never have to worry about a key unless I have to get under the front seat. Next, I've got some eBay bar risers. These bar risers are copies of the Wunderlich units for about 20% of the price. I'm short, about 5'9", and bringing the bars a little closer to me makes the bike much more comfortable. I've got the EvoTech levers. I bought the shorty ones, but it turns out I really prefer the full-size ones on my street bike. I prefer shorty on my dual sport. One thing you can't see down here is I've got Brembo street and race pads. These calipers are the same calipers used on the Panigale, so you can use pads designed for that. So get a little more bite. I've got a Sargent seat, much more comfortable than stock. The passenger heated seat switch is not as pretty, but the heated seat works just as good as stock. Next over here, I've got the Akrapovic exhaust. This is the homologated version that's carb compliant. This was probably the least bang for the buck mod I've done. It looks pretty, but didn't add any sound. You need the full decat to do that. I deleted the evap canister. There's a whole separate video on that. I installed some buttons to open my garage door. I put a garage door opener onto the bike. Here under the seat, I've got my anti-gravity battery, as well as my Hex Easy Can. What's the Hex Easy Can, you ask? It's a 4-channel, 30-amp electronic relay and control system. I have 3 things connected to it. First, my Denali Sound Bomb horn. This is an air horn that will work with the horn button because of the Easy Can. No additional wiring required. Second, an additional brake light. I had this bracket made by Send Cut Send that attaches it to the bottom of the top case mount. Third, Diodynamics SSC2 2.0 Max LEDs on Denali light mounts. These use up 2 channels on the EasyCan, allowing them to be individually addressed. I have it set up to turn off the light if one of my turn indicators is on. The EasyCan can use the bike's ambient light sensor to turn the lights to 50% brightness during the day and 20% brightness at night. I've also got a Garmin Zumo XT3 on the Evotech mount. Some people prefer to use their phone or one of the new CarPlay or Android Auto units. I really prefer this because I don't have to remember to download maps offline, and it's just always there ready for me. I've also got the Ducati TPMS, which you can't see the tire pressure now because it hasn't initialized. It does that once you start riding. Finally, I've got the Evotech Tail Tidy along with the Evotech Ducati Progressive turn signals. I believe Ducati OEMs those. Hope you've enjoyed this tour of the bike. It's a monster on the twisties and even on the terrible B roads. That's why I specifically looked for a model with spoked wheels.